Let's go live. Right, so we are live now. Well, we're live now. What's happening? Right, so we have got Alan Dunn here, who is doing 31 marathons in 31 days, what is absolutely amazing. What is fantastic in this heat, because it's literally the hottest it's ever been in the UK ever. So well done for that.
Okay.
So let's start off and let's find your backstory and like just about you, like your job, where you grew up and stuff like that.
Well, I'm a postman. Been posting for like 33 years nearly now. So my fitness comes from that, really.
Yeah.
Walking streets for a living, it does keep you fit. But I just got 2 hernias, really. And once I got my second one, I thought there's no way I'm going to go back to that being unfit or anything. You know what I mean? So even though it's probably work related and wear and tear, I just thought I'm going to get fit. So I did Manchester to Liverpool bike ride for a charity, and I've never been on a bike before proper. So I did that, and then I did a Tough Mudder. So I did a Tough Mudder, and I thought, hey, it's not bad this. So then I started running because I'm a decent runner. Played a bit of football, not brilliant, but I could hold my own. And I just did a bit of running, and then I thought I'll do 4 marathons for charity. But what it was, the marathons I picked was within 8 weeks of each other. So I thought, well, I better do a bit of training and get proper. I'd never run a marathon before, so I did a few halves. Did them. I think it was Blackpool. Manchester first, then Blackpool, Windermere, which was a tough one, and then I finished off with Liverpool. And then I just kept running little events. And then one day I went watching some of my mates do an Ironman, and I thought, I could do that. I thought, I'll have a dabble at that. And then the other half at the time said, like, oh, you struggle with that. I said, why? Well, I can't swim. I thought, well, I learned to swim, bought a bike, and I just did it from there. I did three of them in the end. And I got a bit lucky, I must admit, because I'm not the best of swimmers. I hate it, petrifies me. But I winged it. So I did that. I did the 3 Ironmans. And then I promised my mum I wouldn't do any more. She were ill, so I didn't do any more of them. I thought, well, I'll just stick to what I'm decent at, running. And what can I say? It just took off from there. Then I did Hell of a Hill. I thought I'll give that one a whirl, which is brutal. It's up Rivington. I mean, Hell of a Hill. That you've done that. That's how I got to know you.
Yeah.
And I thought, I wonder if I can do it. And I ended up finishing second overall, which I couldn't believe. The winner was an ultra runner, and he's become a decent friend as well. I got to know him at Hell of a Hill, Dave, and we were great lads. But what I like about it, everybody helps each other. You know, different tips and one thing and another, and that's what I like as well. Getting out and running with people, giving a bit back, and then another of my mate, a separate mate, we thought, well, we'll give it 10 in 10 ago, 10 marathons in 10 days, and I did that for charity, for Bolton Hospice, and for JDRF, because granddaughter, she had type 1 diabetes. So I thought, well, I'll get something for that. And the Bolton Hospice bit was a family member was treated at Bolton Hospice for the end of life care. And I seen how hard they work. So I thought I'll give a bit back to them if I can. Just raise a bit of money, whatever I can get for them. And I did it 10 in 10. And I felt brilliant. So then I thought, well, finish off with one more thing. And I was going to do 30 marathons. But then I thought, well, if I do that, I might think, what if I could do the extra one in a month? So I thought, well, stuff it. I'll go all in. I'll go and do a 31-day month. And that's why I've brought me to this, just for the Bolton Hospice, to raise a bit of money for Bolton Hospice. It's a tough challenge. Like you said, it's hot now, but it's going all right at the moment. It's going fine. And that's where we're up to now today.
Okay, so right, if anyone's got any questions, put them into the comment section because we'll get to them at the end. But before you started this challenge, what was your training? If there was training, it's a bit of a weird one because I feel like you can't actually train for as such.
Well, yeah, you can train. I mean, obviously, I didn't train to a plan. I whipped my own plan out. I didn't read books or anything like that because I run off feel, how I feel. And I've learnt over the years that if I'm tired or I feel a niggle, then I don't run. I rest that day. Whereas before, I used to think, oh my God, I've not trained. I'm going. It's going to cost me, and I used to panic. But now I'm not worried about that. If I'm not feeling right, I don't run. But basically, I mix it up a bit. I do a bit of speed work. I do long runs. The shortest run I do is 6 mile. I never run really less than 6 mile.
Yeah.
And towards the end, I was running about 60 to 70 mile per week. So I'd run, start on a Sunday, say, I'd probably run between 18 and 22 mile on a Sunday in any one run. And then through the week, I'd run every other day between a 6 miler and a 10 miler. If I'd run a 6 miler, I'd put a bit of speed work in. But I always, no matter what run I do, I will always put a hill in, a tough hill. And my mates will tell you that. They don't like me for doing that, but I kill them. But yeah, I always put a hill in because it makes you stronger that. And then when you're on a flat course, it becomes easier, you see. But yeah, I started training for it properly in probably December time, really, in cold. And then I went Lanzarote in March with a friend, did a bit of warm weather training, come back. Then within a week, I got COVID. That wiped me out for a good few days. But then I got back. I had trouble with my hamstrings. But a friend of mine, Warren, he does my sports massage therapy. What a guy. Dr. Death, I call him. But what a guy. He's top notch. And he's looked after me. And to be fair, through this, touch wood, I've never had any problems with my hamstrings. He sorted it.
Yeah. So, is there any tips or like things what you do in your training? You say you do hills. Do you do any speed work, or is it just you to put a hill in your run, or do you just go off feel?
Well, I do go off feel, and I will always put one hill in minimum. Always. For people that know me, they'll know that I've done Claypool up Horwich. I don't know if you know that one.
Yeah,
that's a bad one. I used to do the trail runs up River, but when I'm training for something like this, then I don't train up River or off on trails because I'm worried about getting injured. So I'll leave it to I'll go on the roads. But I've got a route that leaves mine, goes through Little Ever and back. That's got a bit of a hill in. But I use that as my speed work, and I try and push myself as hard as I can for the 6 mile, and then the rest of the week I try and relax and chill out a bit. But I try and mix it up. Yeah, the hills are the ones because they're the ones that strengthen my legs.
Yeah,
they're the ones. I'd advise anyone if they're training like that, just get on a hill. Even if you can't push yourself, just do it. Just go up, and it will soon come after a few. It'll be right. But yeah, the speed work, that's just up to personal choice. But footwear's another one. Footwear's each to their own. Every individual's different. So I pick mine and I stick to them, and they never give me no grief. I don't get many blisters, so it's all good there. But yeah, footwear's a big one.
Yeah. So, what kit are you actually using for this challenge? Because it's quite Are you wearing a bag, or like is there any kit what like you must have for
Well, all I do, I've got my Hawkers, they're my trainers, my Hawker Clifton 8s. I won't run in anything else. Then my nutrition wise, I have a bottle. I call it my dummy because no matter what distance I run, I've always got it in my hand. And it's a 750ml bottle, and I use Tailwind in that.
Yeah.
In this weather, I have been running out, so I have had extra water, so I just refill it as and when. Once my Tailwind runs out of that, I just refill it with water, because by then the tailwind's done its job and I can get through the last bit with just on the water. And then I have protein bar, or a banana, and that's it basically. That's what's getting me through.
So have you found that you've been getting like hungry out, because it's obviously 30 days, it's a long time. So obviously I'm assuming like
you're
getting like hungry each day because you can't like fill yourself up with the nutrition you need, or it's really hard to, or you don't actually know how much nutrition you need that day.
Well, I've just kept to the same plan all the time, every day. I've not changed anything really. And what I do, I'll get up in the morning. I'm not a big lad anyway. I'm only tiny, like a dwarf really, but I'm skin and bone now. But when I get up in the morning, I started off, I have porridge and a banana, and a piece of toast. And I have that 2 hours beforehand. Then I'll go and do my run. Have what I've just said, my tailwind, water, protein bar, banana, and then have a recovery drink, come home, and then basically I eat whatever I want then within reason, because I'm burning 3,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get the calories back in. So it's like mainly at dinner time, I'll have a sandwich or pasta or anything that I've got in just to surround it. And then tea time, it's rice, pasta, chicken, fish. One of my favourites is mashed sausage and beans. That's a good one. And that puts everything back in. I've got the meat, I've got the carbs, I've got protein, the bean, everything. It's just, I just get it all in, and then I'll snack before I go to bed. But the problem I have found in the morning when I'm getting up, because I'm eating the same every morning, I'm struggling to get it in. I get bored of it, and it makes me bloated. So every other day now, what I do with the porridge, I have porridge one day, then the next morning I'll have scrambled egg on toast, just to mix it up a bit, and that works just as good.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
So do you not use any gels or anything?
No, I tried gels in the early days, and in fact, I tried it at Windermere. The gel. And they just go straight in your gut. You just get loads of gut bombs for me. Me personally, not me. And at 20 odd mile, I was desperate for the toilet. You know, at Windermere, luckily I come across a toilet, but there was only the women's open, so they had to kick the women out while I went in. For that about, I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't have gels. So somebody put me onto tailwind. Don't really get that hungry. It doesn't create any gut bombs or anything. It's just replacing the salts you're losing through your sweat and everything. But gels are a no-no for me. I just can't use them. They're horrible. I just, it's each to their own. You know, I mean, that's another good one that works for me. Flat coat.
I think everyone has like flat coat.
I've done that in the last couple of years. On the Ironman, I felt myself struggling on Ironman, and someone said, "Yeah, I have a flat coat," so I did, and boom, it was there. It worked. I couldn't believe it. So that's another go-to one.
Yeah, I found that with flat coat, because you think like when you're doing these races and like marathons and stuff, you would think like, in my head before I did this, it'd be like the healthiest stuff you've ever seen, and like everyone would be like on like green smoothies and like stuff, but everyone's literally like sweets, crisp, black coke, like the worst of food, but it's easy, isn't it?
Yeah, so sometimes I'll put an handful of jelly babies in my pocket just as a go-to as well, but it's not often as I use them, if I'm honest. They're there just as a bit of an insurance policy, but I don't really use them either. So
yeah,
that's it really. There's nothing scientific about it. It's just what works for me.
So before you did this, did you do any like ultras, or are you just like a marathon runner? Like I know you've done your multi-day, like Hell of a Hill and that 10 in 10, but
yeah, that's not really, no. I was a cross-country runner at school, a pretty good one as well. But then when I left school, obviously it was drinking, fell off the wagon a bit, you know, and I wasn't quite bothered. And then I just played a bit of football, but the running was still in me. I'm a natural runner. So once I got back into it, it just seemed natural. It just seemed natural to me, and I've just pushed on from there. It's just, I mean, I'm 50 now, and I'm not slower than what I was 5 or 6 years ago. I mean, Hell of a Hill was 2019, I think.
Yeah.
And I've just kept going since then.
To be fair, like, you're well quicker than me. Like, you're doing like your like marathons in 3 hours.
They're about between 3 hours 36 and 3 hours 45, roughly moving time. And there's only like 1 or 2 little tiny pit stops just to refill my bottle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've been well under 4 hours anyway. But I am at, like, my PB is, I've got my PB at Manchester, which was 3 hours 22. And I know I could have gone quicker than that, but just adrenaline in Manchester and the crowd sucks you along, and you lose your head a bit and push on. But I still did it in 3 hours 22. But I'm a natural runner. I'm just natural, decentish runner, really.
Yeah. So after this, like, another thing I noticed, are you doing the same route every day?
Yeah. Which it's the Bolton Ironman marathon route.
Yeah.
And on each one of them, there's just over 1,000 foot of climbing on each one of them.
Yeah.
I don't think it's hilly, but it is. There's a couple of cheeky little hills. There's a hill in Queen's Park, which I mean, the first 2 loops. It's a loops course. You see, there's 4 loops. The first 2 loops, I will run it, but the second 2 loops, I'll walk it because I'm recuperating the legs, and I don't want to risk injury on tired legs. So you can pull that time back anyway if you was. And then you've got Charlie New Road, which you must know it goes past the retreat, goes up that way, and that's quite a, not steep, but it's a steady climb, that, and back end that can be a tough one. But yeah, it's every day on that same route. I did on the second one and the third one, I did the original Bolton Marathon course, because obviously Ironman took over Bolton at the weekend, so I couldn't do that route because so I did the original Bolton Marathon route, and I didn't like that. That's just, it's not hilly, but it's just boring. It's just 2 long roads, really. But yeah, but every day, yeah, it's the same route. So I have a plan, and I work to that plan every day, regardless if I'm feeling good or feeling bad. And there's a few little mental tips that I do in my head to get me through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's 4 loops, and it's better like that because I can keep to my plan that I've got. You see.
So let's take it away from this challenge, because obviously, and just talk about marathons. Like you was talking about PBs. Do you have any like strategy when you do a PB? Do you do like a negative split, or do you, like you said, you walk? Because I know, like, I've got a couple of friends who finish a marathon faster if they walk 5 minutes halfway through, or if like they do a couple of walks. So what is your strategy when it comes to just like generally getting a PB at a marathon?
It all depends what marathon I'm doing. So like Hell of a Hill, which is a tough one, as you well know. You've done it. Goes up Rivington each day 5 times, up to the top, and that's just evil. That's just brutal. So you walk them, but I run the rest of them.
Yeah.
Because I'm fast, I can pick that time back up anyway. But you're saving your legs. When I do Manchester, say that's flat, I run a lot of that. And if I'm going for a time, then I work out what the pace is per mile before I do it. Because I have a watch, so I can keep track of my pace on my watch. But as a rule, it's not often as I will walk and know. The Ironman ones, yeah, they're different. They become a run walk. But the thing is with them, even though you're tired, I like having a laugh and a crack with my friends, family, and and it's different that. But it all depends on what route you're doing. So like Windermere was another one. There was a hill on that. I think it was Ice Cream Hill, I think they called it.
Yeah.
That's one of the worst ones I've ever done. And I ran half of it, walked the top half of it. and I still did that in 3 hours. I think that was 3 hours 40 something. So it doesn't, walking a hill on an event doesn't impact you. But what I will do is when I'm running in training, I always run it in training. Never walk in training, I run.
Yeah.
So, because that just strengthens my legs. Really.
So would you ever do an ultra? Is just that just not one of your goals?
I don't know. I did an ultra in Cotswolds, and I think it was, you could run as much as you wanted within a 24-hour period, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I just did the minimum training. I was still learning then.
Yeah.
The nutrition were a mess. I just didn't prepare, but I did 66 miles.
Yeah.
Which for me, I thought that were amazing. But I would be tempted to have a go at it. Yeah, I think it's the only thing left really. But as to whether I'd do it or not, I don't know. I think if I was to do something like that, I'd start off with a 34-mile ultra. So I think
Yeah.
the minimum one that's an ultra. I think I'd try my hand at one of them. I think I could do that. Not easy, but I think I could do that. And then I may go to a 50-mile. I wouldn't. Yeah.
There's one what's in Warrington, so that's quite close to you, called Warrington Way. That's a really good one. I would like to recommend that to like people just because it is such a good race. Yeah. It sells out, but there is a waiting list, and people tend to get in even off the waiting list.
Right. So what distance is that?
That's 40, but it's just like a really good route. Like I think ultras are easier than marathons because you can go slower. Like it is a total different experience. It's more like hell of a hill, where it's more like community based and people talking. So like
I probably would.
Different.
I think a 40-miler. I think without, I'm not big headed, but I think I could do. I could probably do a 40-miler. How quick I have just no clue. But I'd change my training for that, definitely.
Yeah.
I would get for an ultra, you'd have to. But the problem is with work, because I usually get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, depending on the time I start. So if I've done my job, I am a bit tired when I come home, so I've got to rest a bit, then go out and do my training, which sometimes it's not always a good thing. But yeah, I think I could do between 34 and 40 mile. I reckon I could do that. Anything else, I'm not too sure, if I'm honest.
So after this, do you have any goals? Have you not planned anything? Or is there something what you would like to do?
If I'm honest, no, I've not. Because I'm fully focused on getting this 31 marathons done. And
yeah.
I must admit today broke me a bit because of the heat. And I didn't break down, but I was close to it. And I thought it is hard. But now that weather's changing, my mindset's different now. I've recovered today and I don't feel as bad now. And I feel that I'm going to get in my massages after from a recovery because I have a recovery plan that I stick to as well. So by the morning I'll be right, but I just want to fully focus on this. I probably will come up with something, but what? I've not got a clue. I don't know. Maybe some of these lot that's watching might shout something out to me or not. I don't know. Do this, do that. But I don't know, if I'm honest. I don't know.
So actually, that's a good point you've just like kind of made. What is in your recovery plan? Because obviously you've only got like 17 hours to recover.
Yeah. Well, what it is, I'll come home. As soon as I get home, I get in a cold bath just to cover my legs, and I jump in it for 12 minutes. Stay in it for 12 minutes, and it cools them down quick. Then it reduces your injuries. So I get in that for 12 minutes, and I'll get out, dry off, then I'll have a brew, something to eat, then I'll have a shower, and then when I get out of the shower, I've got the guy Warren. He does me sports massage. He's lent me some the boots. So you put a boot on each leg, and it's attached to a machine. So you switch it on. I put it on for full power for 30 minutes, and it massages your legs. I've got a manual one, but this takes all that off, so it does it for you. I do that for half an hour, and then I make sure that at some point during the day I'll go for a bit of a walk for 15 minutes to half an hour, just to keep my legs loose. Because I found that if I sit down all day, see, I like watching Tour de France. And in the early days, I would watch it now, but then when I got up, my legs were stiffening up. So I thought, well, if I go for a bit of a walk, it keeps them loose, and then I'll have my tea, and then I go back on my massages about 7:30ish for half an hour. Go to bed when I'm tired, about 9:30, 10, and then I'll get up in the morning, have my nutrition, and then I'll go on my massages again for another half an hour. So they use quite a lot, really, and it's working. If I've got any blisters, they get popped straight away. So I've touched wood. I've only had about five or six blisters, popped them straight away, and then they've been okay after that. My feet are fine, not an issue. And then I go to my mate actually once a week, Lauren. He's done a deep tissue on. I'm there on Friday as well, so I don't want to take any risks now. So close to finishing.
So like in just general, like between stuff as well, do you do anything for stop injury? Because obviously you're quite hardcore with your goals.
I've not had a drink for about 5 or 6 months, really.
Yeah.
Properly. I've had the odd one of a night, just one. But I mean, like at weekend, with it being so hot, when I went shopping, I just got a couple of bottles in, and I thought I'm just going to have one, stuff it. So I've had one, that's all. There's one in the fridge now actually, and it's still there now. But no, I don't gamble. I don't eat rubbish, really. I look after myself that way. But when I've finished, then I will, because I want to put weight on, so I'll eat like a pig after, and I will be having a drink and all that. I'm craving a beer. I really am craving a beer, but I won't have one, not a proper one.
Yeah. It's like when I was doing Hell of a Hill, everyone was like, just have a beer because you've run a marathon today. And I was like, no. I was like, I can't do that because I'll not be able to do it tomorrow. I can't even walk at the moment.
Yeah, it's just, I had one Saturday night, but I only had the one. I mean, because the one thing I didn't say before, and leading up to the event, any marathon, the week leading up, I eat a tin of rice pudding every night. That's another thing that helps. And plus, I have a handful of dry roasted peanuts every night because of the energy that it gives me. And it works. So I don't want to drink alcohol on top of that as well and ruin it. I just don't see the point. So, because I'm fully focused now, I want to get it done. I'm pretty strong in my head. I'm mentally pretty well up there. There's nothing much will beat me really. So I'm going to do it, definitely.
So have you got any running rituals? Like when you're running, do you listen to music or
no, never.
Like anything to get you through?
Never listen to music. I don't believe in it personally, but that's just my opinion. People are different. It helps them, but not for me. Only because if I'm running and I've got earphones in, I can't hear the traffic. So being a road runner, if I'm coming up to a junction and I can't hear a car, I'm putting myself in danger. So I don't do that. I mean, it's like to get me through. Like I'll just take this for instance. I don't think this marathon in miles. To me, it's laps. So I'm doing 4 a day. So rather than think, oh, well, I've done 6 miles now, I've got 20 miles left. And push it. I don't do that. I just think, well, I've done a loop here. I've only got 3 left. So I do that loop and I've only got 2 left. And then on the route, I pick certain points. So if I'm struggling, I'll think, right, I'll just run to the top of that hill. And then that's one goal achieved, and then I'll just push on a bit more then, and I just do it like that. But no, music wise, I don't believe in it. No, it's just motivation for me. I just go out and do it. That's it.
So no, like mantras, like stuff you say to yourself, or like sayings, or
not really. No, I put one on today. Funny enough, what does it kill you? Makes you stronger.
Yeah.
We've all failed at some things. Everybody. And I just think my mum told me that one when I was a kid, and it just stuck with me. And that's the one. If it doesn't kill you, if it doesn't kill you, it's going to make you a lot stronger. It does. It makes me stronger in my head. But I have I've had a couple of negative messages, like I said to you beforehand. And do you know what? They're my motivation, because so as soon as someone says something negative, then it goes in there and it stays in there. And then I think, right, that's the reason I'm going to do this. Not necessarily for the praise or the good luck messages or anything. It's the negative ones that push me through. So anybody that gets any negative thoughts, or somebody what's telling you something that you don't want to hear, put it in and use it in your favour. That's what I always do. But other than that, no, not really. It's just, and then you'll know more than me probably. Push one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
That's a good one for these marathon runners, isn't it? It's just keep pushing, never stand still. It's just the way. That's basically it for me.
Yeah, I think that's like a massive point when you're doing like these challenges, like ultras, like anything really, even if it's a 5K, is you're always going to get someone who's going to be like negative to you, and like you really should just not take it on, because it's more of a reflection of themselves. Because you are always going to get someone who's going to say something negative, whether it's jealous there or it's just general, like them being a bit.
Yeah, it's just, I think, to be honest, it's just society now. I mean, when I first started, as we all know, I'm doing it for Bolton Hospice. They've got to fund it, a lot of it themselves. They only get so much off the run. They've got to raise 4 million a year. So to me, I'm just trying to give something back, because that's just me. But on the Monday, Ironman was on the Sunday. Then I went back on the course on the Monday, and I had that many people in the park, old people as well, not just the young ones, with the sarcastic comments about the Ironman. Oh, you're still running it. What you doing? Ironman were yesterday and all, but they didn't know. They saw my t-shirt, but they didn't take any notice. But then once they explained what I was doing, their attitude changed then, and I've seen them since, and it's all praise and good luck, and but it's just the way of the world. It's just society. I don't let it bother me. It's just what it is. It's just, put it in there. Don't be worried about putting it in. Get it in your head and use that to your advantage. And that's what
people tend to not like big events anyway, like Wigan 10K, like Ironman and stuff, just generally because they feel like it's disruptive for their life. But I see it as a viewer, like the government and councils don't really do much for health and fitness as such in big events like that and to raise money for charity. And everyone's like, it's inconvenient, but like, it's on. It's not like they just like decide in the morning they're going to put Ironman on. So you always get like people being like, oh, you're doing that race and like stuff. Because I've had it in the pub before, like the girl who won the pub next to my studio, so it's like just that back. She was at traffic lights for like 20 minutes, and she was like, I just ran out in front of her. So then I was getting shit for just generally being part of the race. But it's up on signs, the road closures.
It happens. I mean, to be fair, since I've come into the tri community and running community, I love it, because you know what? I have so much respect for anybody that does exercise, whether it be swimming, running, dancing, any form of exercise. I respect them all, because I know how difficult it is just to go out there. The motivation just to go out, and the community itself, the tribe community, the running community, the cycling, anything. Everybody helps each other. And we've talked about this, me and my friends, and you don't really get many egos. Everybody's willing to help each other. You've got all these volunteers that are willing to give the time up for nothing. I respect all that, because they don't have to do that. So that's why I just like giving a bit back as well. And just give a bit of my time back. And I've started volunteering a little bit now, because I know how much they put in. And it's some effort. It really is. Not just for volunteers, for them that are actually doing these things. taking part, competing, because it is hard. It's not easy. If it were easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah. Have you got anything you want to add? Because if you put questions down now, I will start asking you people's questions and you can answer them.
To be fair, I just want to thank everybody, really, more than anything, because the support I've had, it's been amazing. I've had car horns beeping. I've had cyclists cycle along with me. People have run with me. A lot of people are put off at running with me because I'm in them. But I always say, like, I'll slow down. And, you know, it doesn't bother me. But I just want to thank everyone for the messages, the donations, the support I've had. It's been amazing. It's just blown me away, really, to be fair.
Okay, we'll go on to questions now. So, sorry if I butcher people's names on YouTube, but I can't read them right anyway. So, Cotswood Trail Runner says, sorry I'm late, but he's got a few questions. Are you running the marathons in the morning, the same time, or like the night? So what time are you running the marathons?
They have been 7 in the morning I start, but in this heat, the last 3 marathons I've started at 6 a.m. to try and beat the heat. Now, didn't really make a difference today because it's so hot early doors, but from now on it'll be 7 a.m. every morning now again. Yeah, definitely.
Right. So someone's put, how can they follow your like how can they follow your journey? Like, is it on Strava? Is it like, have you got any like Facebook page or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. People have started following me because I put the updates on every day. I'm also on Strava. So if you go on Strava, they'll find me there. Just put my name in, Alan Dawn, and it's there. All my runs are recorded. And what I like to do is screenshot them, and then I post them onto my Facebook page. And then it's proof that I've done them as well. For them that's donated and the hospice, I always make sure. A lot of people won't like me keep putting it on every day, but I do because I like proving that I've done it. You know, I'm not cheating or anything like that. So I prove that I've done it. But yeah, it's Facebook and my Strava. And my Strava is also, when it goes to my Strava, it automatically puts them onto my Just Giving page. So anybody that goes onto my Just Giving page, they can see my runs on there as well, my progress, how I'm going. But yeah, you can follow me on Facebook.
Right. What I will do is, if you send me your links and stuff, I will put them down in the description box so people can follow your journey. Also, I'll put your charity link in. So if anyone wants to donate, they can donate and raise some money for Bolton Hospice. Other questions is, have you got any tips for running long distance in the heat? Like, have you discovered anything? Because you're actually doing it. I can't do it. I've not been training because I'm literally dying.
To be fair, the time that I'm setting off, it's cool, but it's still warm. So I try and push my early loops, and then I try and slow off and conserve my energy for the back end. But what I will say, it's plenty of water. You've got to rehydrate all the time. Today, I've never had as much water in my life today, and I poured it over my head, you know, my wrist, my body. Fill my hat with it and put your hat on your head as well. You've just got to keep rehydrating. Plenty of water, fluids.
Someone said, have you got any tips for recovering with Achilles tendinitis? I hope I said that right.
Achilles? Well, to be fair, I go to a sports massage therapist and he does that for me. But I've got a machine that you could buy. It's an electric one. It's got the heat sensor on the end, or these massage guns. You could do it yourself and rub it over your Achilles. But I recommend a sports therapy for that, deep tissue.
So I think that's all the questions. I'll just do a little outro. If you've got a question, put it in now and we'll get to it. But I think I've gone through, or if we've not answered your question, just put it down now, as there is a lot of words on screen. It looks like a lot of people have followed you on Strava, like quite a few people, because
there's quite a few now, and a few have started following me in the last few weeks as well. So I have got a lot.
Yeah. So I think that's it. So if you send me all your details for your Strava, your Facebook, your charity link, or anything like that, I will put it in the description box and people can follow you. Also, if anyone wants to follow me on like any of my socials, it is pinned as the top comment. So I guess that's it for if you've not got anything else to say.
I just, like I said, I just want to thank everybody for the support, because it's been amazing, if I'm honest. It pulled me through, especially today. Today was awful, but I'll definitely do it. 100%, I'm smashing it. There's no way I'm failing this. So just trust me, and honestly, I'm going to do it. So just thank you to everybody, every single person. Thank you.
So thank you for having you here, and thanks for being on my little live chats. Also, another thing what I want to ask people is, what I might do is take the audio from this and put it on Strava, because I know my last one, people came back and listened to it a couple of times. So I thought if I take the audio from it, people can listen to it on Strava, so Strava, Spotify and stuff. So if you would like that, comment that and I will get to that. And if you've got any questions, pop them down below, because you can come back on anyway in a couple of days if you get bored and answer them anyway.
No problem. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks for having me.
But what I'll just do now is I'll come off the live thing. So thanks everyone for watching. I have actually got another interview lined up for in another couple of weeks, and an interview after that. So if you want anyone to do an interview, or me ask anyone to do an interview, or if anyone just wants to message me saying they're doing a big challenge, they want to talk about it, because it might motivate them, just message me on Instagram or on YouTube, Facebook, Strava, whatever platform you can find me on, and I will do that. So thanks guys for coming watching me and Alan, and bye guys, and we'll see you next time.